Hi, everybody. Welcome back to our Spiritual Sojourn. So glad you're joining us again. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Laurie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing so well. How are you?
I'm good. So what's up today?
Well, I have a question, about the safety of all these things that we're suggesting people do. Reminds me of a time we were playing poker with tarot cards, which probably shouldn't be doing, and I got a full house, and the next day, three relatives died.
That's a very lame joke,
Okay,
but thank you for sharing.
okay, but it does raise the question, what are the protections we should be using?
It does. And one of the reasons that Spirit wanted to have this topic is because we had a question from someone who was watching our videos, and their question was, how do we know if we open up to all of this, sit in meditation, call on our guides, that we're not going to get some dark energy, some evil something taking over our bodies and invading us in some way? And I felt like, and Spirit felt like it was a really good question and something that we probably need to address, that it would be helpful for others. So, with that being said, I think the best way that I have found for myself is that I use in my meditation, I use a kind of a ritual, if you will, I suppose, that puts protection around me. So before I start, I will ground myself into Mother Earth. I will envision roots coming out of the bottoms of my feet, anchoring me onto the planet, onto Mother Earth. And then I visualize this beautiful golden egg shape surrounding me completely, my entire, from my feet around and back again, and putting me in this divine light of energy so that nothing that isn't of highest and best vibration or highest and best good can't get through. So I will do that. I also use the added protection of always making sure to call in my guide because he's really great at keeping any lower vibrations out, and he won't allow that energy to come through to mess with me in any way. I guess, yeah, I've gotten to the point where when I first started, that was a concern of mine too. It's like, all those stories you hear about someone being possessed or taken over or you inviting something dark in. I don't even think of it so much as evil anymore. It's more about, it's a lower vibration energy, something that isn't always of the highest good, highest and best of intentions. It just vibrates at a much lower frequency and energy. So that energy I just don't want to have to deal with. And so my guide helps keep it away. I also have found that calling in the archangels, calling in our everyday angels to come in and also put a protection around us to stand with us so that they are there and also can help raise the vibrations that we're in that will also in a sense repel those lower vibrations because they can't match the higher vibrations, so they're not able to get through. Does that make sense?
It sure does. So you mentioned that you call in your angel for
Mhm.
protection. Does everyone have an angel that does that, or is that part of what all angels do?
My feeling is yes, angels will absolutely, if you call them in, whatever angel they are, they will be there to help you and support you if you ask them to please come and stand with you in those moments where you're starting to channel or you're sitting for your daily meditation, whatever that is. If you call them in, they will be there with you. And so that just gives you that extra layer of protection so that you know they're there. I really call in a lot of times the archangels, especially when I'm getting ready to channel, and I ask them to set the space. So I visualize that they're standing in the four corners of the room. Or like on Zoom, I'll picture them being in this room, if you will, in each of the four corners, so that again, they raise the level of the vibration, the frequency, and they help keep out any lower energies that might try to slip through and cause havoc or mess with us in some way. But we all have angels. The important thing is we need to ask. We need to ask them to please step forward. We need to ask them to be with us, to protect us. And then they're more than happy to step in and allow and be there with us.
Okay, that's an important point that you do have to ask.
You do, because we have free will, and I don't know why anybody would want to, but your free will says you can invite any energy in to you that you wish. And so if you don't ask and a lower energy does come in, you have the free will to accept it or to send it on its way.
Okay, so if something does happen, you just said you send it on its way. How would you go about doing that?
What I have said in the past when energy early on was trying to step in when I knew it wasn't an energy that I was comfortable with or wanted to deal with, I simply said, "You're not welcome here. You need to leave." And I called in my guide and the angels, and they escorted this energy away.
Okay, do they always win those battles?
Absolutely. I once read early on when I was first starting out, I read in a book, I believe it was Companions in Spirit, whose authors escape me in this moment, but they were saying that energies aren't spirit, anybody that's in spirit, anything is not allowed really to mess with us. And so we do have protections in place. And they made it sound like there was sort of this um, sort of policing that happens. Like there are beings of light that you can call on, that if there is an energy that you want to go away and it won't leave, you can call in these other energies and they will escort it away to wherever it needs to go. Generally, if they're being difficult and obstinate, then I call an Archangel Michael who comes, escorts them into the light, and pretty much they leave me alone after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So some people relate better to just the concept of God or
Mhm.
source. And can we just connect directly to source, or do we need to call in specific angels or any angel?
It's my impression and my belief that yes, we can definitely connect to source any and all time because we are connected to source all the time. And so I think connecting with source is you would call that energy in. Again, I would use a visualization asking that that divine light come through me. I would picture white light coming through my crown chakra and going all the way through me and then making a bubble around me as well, so that I would feel that I have that divine energy around me so that nothing of lower vibration could obviously step into that.
Okay. And that's sort of your own ceremony. Should everybody do exactly that? Or what should everyone else do?
I think it's important that individuals find their own um, ceremonies, their own rituals, their own way of doing this that's comfortable for them. This is mine. You're free to choose your own, however that works for you. And so sit with it, play around with them, try different ones until you find one that you connect with the most and that seems to work the best for you. That would be my suggestion for folks.
Okay. And you can sort of just test your feelings in your inner core to know if it's working.
Absolutely. It's whatever feels comfortable for you. You're going to know if you're sitting in a meditation and you have some energy that comes in that doesn't feel right, that's trying to talk with you or manipulate you in some way or give you thoughts that you're not clear about what that might mean. So you'll know if something is trying to step in. And then you can call on whomever you wish to have them escorted away and then put that protection around you. I think from my perspective, honestly, if you're sitting down in meditation with a with a clear intention of I'm sitting in the divine light and I am opening myself to meditation and asking my guides, my angels to be here with me, then I think you're going to be always protected, is my experience, that you really don't have to worry so much about it.
Okay. All right. And part of the whole protection scheme is maybe just becomes automatic after a while.
It does. And I think what's happened for me is because I've worked with my guides and my angels for so long now that they have a blanket agreement that says anytime I am sitting down to channel with someone or my daily meditations, their agreement with me is they simply step in and I know they're there and I don't worry about it.
Mhm.
So I feel protected all the time because I've talked to them about it. I've called them in. I've said, you have my permission to always be with me in these circumstances and keep out any lower vibrations, any energy that isn't of the highest and best good or has the best of intentions. So I trust completely that that always happens.
Mhm.
Although I do when I'm channeling in particular, then I always set the space because it's not just my energy that's involved, it's the other person's energy, and I don't know what energy may be coming in with them. So I hold that space so that between the two of us, no energies can get in that we don't allow in.
Okay. So even though you may have a blanket agreement all set, it's always good to set the space.
It never hurts, just to have that added layer of protection. And especially if you're going to be working with another person, channeling, doing um, um, physical healing, anything like that, doing any of the practices with that person, it's always good to set that space.
Okay, good.
When I used to offer readings in my home, I would always ask Archangel Michael to stand at the door they came in so that anything that needed to not be in my house, anything that was of a lower vibration, any attachments, any energy, Michael would hold for them and they would walk into my door and be free of it. And then when they left, they were welcome to pick those back up if they wanted to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's take a moment and ask your guides if there's anything else that they would like to include in today's podcast.
Sure. We have nothing more really to add to this, only to know that we are always with you. Trust that we are here. We are wanting to be with you, protect you, guide you as best we can. And we will always help to only allow that energy that is of the highest and best good and best intention to come into you, to try to interact with you. It is our goal to always protect you, to make your life as a human being as smooth as it is possible for a human being to have. For as you well know, being a human being is difficult. And our goal is to help with that as best we can.
Okay, great message. It's not easy being a human. That's also a
It
big
is
part of that
not easy
message.
being a human. Not a
Anything else
bit.
that you would like to add, Lori?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, in closing, let me just say, if you like this video, please smash that like button. You can also subscribe. And if you'd like to set the notifications to be all, you'll always get a message whenever we upload and publish a new video. If you have a friend that might benefit from this, it helps us get the word out. You can share this video with them through the share feature in YouTube. And for this whole series of spirit guides and the how to connect and how to use them, we have a playlist out there that's available under playlists. Another thing is if you do have a question, similar to the question that spawned today's video, please write it in the comments. We'll address it directly. And if we end up seeing that it might help others, we will make sure it comes into a future episode. And lastly, if you'd like to contact us directly, you can email both Laurie and Tom at ourspiritualsojourn@gmail.com. And the address is repeated in the comments for this video. So, Laurie, anything else before we shut down?
I don't think so. I think that's good for today. Thank you for being here and thank you for that wonderful joke.
Always, always. Okay, thanks everyone.
Bye.